Guys, the new Crash Bandicoot game looks amazing. I mean, look at it. It's the classic Crash that we grew up with the addition of a few newer elements that, geez, the series needed it. It needed newer stuff that just didn't suck, especially after all those road bumps along the way. How soon we forget.
With games such as Crash, Twinsanity, and Crash of the Titans and Mind Over Mutants, it's clear to see that the Bandicoot has been through a really rough spot over the years. But thanks to the Insane Trilogy, it looks like he's really coming back, and at full speed too. And you wouldn't believe it when, just recently, about 2 days ago, the brand new Crash Bandicoot 4, wait, 4? What? So yeah, this is a bit confusing here. Crash 4? As in Crash the Wrath of Cortex, because that was what it was called in Japan. But no, this is a completely new game. So, what happened to Wrath of Cortex?
Now, this is clearly a reboot of some kind, but a reboot in the sense that it's not taking an entire franchise and changing everything up, you know? This time, it's more like just the same thing, but now you're deleting everything that presumably happened. Assumingly. However, I might have a reason for why this new game is now the new Crash 4, and everything that happened beforehand doesn't matter anymore. Oh yeah, baby, we're talking timelines up in here.
A few days before the actual reveal trailer for Crash 4 dropped, a teaser trailer was released showing Crash Bandicoot beating Crash 3 100% on the PS4, meaning this takes directly after the 100% run of Crash 3. But I bet you're wondering, how and why? What about Wrath of Cortex? The game clearly happened and seemed to continue right afterwards. And right after Crash Wrath of Cortex, it went straight into Twinsanity. So, why? What's going on here?
That is the topic of today's theory. A game theory! I may have gone wrong in a few places. This was not one of them. My theory is that Crash 4 It's About Time takes place in an alternate timeline than Crash the Wrath of Cortex and everything afterwards.
Now, this evidence may not be 100% accurate, but it does fill in some of the holes that is left behind by this new reveal. Alright, now let's see what we got. We have two games referred to as the fourth entry in the series, and one of them is actually a bit more connected to the previous game than the other. As we saw in the teaser trailer and reveal trailer for Crash 4 It's About Time, you'll see that it's taking place directly after or a little bit after the events of Crash 3, specifically the 100% completion ending of the game, where you collect every crystal and gem in each level. Uka Uka, Cortex, and Entropy are sent to the past and are stuck there seemingly forever. Now let's look at Wrath of Cortex. How are the villains still alive and all together if Crash banished 3 of them, the main 3, to the past? There's no way for them to get back since the Time Twister imploded and got destroyed in the 100% ending. So how'd they get back?
They didn't!
What I'm seeing in front of me is clearly a split in the timeline of events in Crash's story. What we see in Crash the Wrath of Cortex is actually what happens if Crash doesn't collect all of the gems. Meaning, the villains are still in the present time, and the Time Twister at this point is useless since Crash collected all the crystals already.
So now, we actually have a game that continues off of Crash 3 in a more natural way than the Wrath of Cortex did. And it actually makes a lot more sense since Crash 3 continued off of Crash 2, off of the 100% ending, similar to now how this new game is continuing off of Crash 3's 100% ending. Now, here's the thing. I'm going to be assuming that Crash at least collected a few of the gems from Crash 3, just because he seems to already know their power due to Embryo in Crash 2, and since the canon ending was them destroying the Cortex Vortex with the power of the gems, he'd obviously have some instinct to at least collect a few of them. And I mean, some of the gems in Crash 3 are kind of easy to get anyways, so...
So this means the villains can't use the Time Twister to collect all the gems again, since Crash already has some of them, and assuming that you need to have at least 25 to have, you know, max power. I'm also going to dismiss the idea of the Time Relics, since the Time Relics seem to only be a bonus collectible. They don't seem to have any sort of ability to manipulate any sort of energy in the Crash universe, so yeah, I'll just leave it at that. They're useless. So due to Crash not collecting every gem in the Time Twister in Crash 3, he's unable to get the 100% ending and is unable to send Cortex, Uka Uka, and Entropy into the past. Meaning, Cortex is now able to create Crunch, and Uka Uka can now suggest the idea of the elementals to fuel Crunch. So now that we got that out of the way, I'm gonna call this part of the timeline the Crash 3 below 100% timeline. Because...
I mean, I can't think of a better name than that. So what does this mean for Crash? Personally, I think that it'll actually bring forth a lot of new games. Well, not a lot, but maybe a few new games that'll hopefully do a lot better than what we got beforehand. You know, Crash the Titans, Twinsanity, and heck, maybe we make it a Twinsanity remake, which is something I've been waiting for a long time, and especially after seeing all those other remakes of Crash games. Oh boy. Well guys, thanks for watching this video. I hope you really liked it. This is a brand new video format I'm trying out. This is one of the first ever videos I'm actually putting this much effort into editing and recording all this footage. Almost all the footage you see in this video was recorded by me using an emulator, and most of it was just the Crash 4 trailer and all that, and the endings. So I hope you like it, and let's look forward to Crash Bandicoot 4. It's about time releasing this October. Pre-order it now if you want. And yeah, see you guys.